Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So nice to, Shabbat Shalom. So nice to be with you on this beautiful Shabbat. It's getting pretty close to a very special time in our Hebrew calendar. Anybody know what that time is? Only about 10 days away. Lena? Oh, okay. Well, it is only about 9.5 days to Hanukkah. And then there is the Disney Symphony, of course, so that's cool. Let's start out with a couple of songs, okay? Bim, bam, bim, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you and all my friends. Shabbat candles are burning bright. Shabbat candles are burning bright. Shabbat candles burning bright. Let us know it's a Friday night. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you and all my friends. Shabbat Challah, it's so good to eat. Shabbat Challah, it's good to eat. Shabbat Challah, it's good to eat. It's a special Shabbat treat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you and all my friends. For Shabbat day, it's my favorite day. Shabbat day, my favorite day. Shabbat day, it's my favorite day. That's the day I get to say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you and all my friends. You know what? Supposed to say what? Let's try that again. You know what? Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Gonna wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna nod our heads, gonna wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna nod our heads, gonna wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Gonna shout, hooray! Gonna nod our heads, gonna wiggle our fingers, clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Gonna shout, hooray! Gonna nod our heads, gonna wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Oh yeah. Well, welcome everyone. As you can see, I am your humble host for all of this evening, as Rabbi Kupitz and about 19 of our teenagers are in Washington, D.C. for what is known as the Litaken weekend, where they're learning about social justice issues and they're learning how to go before Congress and learning how to focus on all the important things. Lena, if you have a question, make it quick, please. Oh, you're going to Washington in January. That's great. And I'm assuming you're taking Lonnie with you? Okay. Lonnie, we don't have time for questions today, but I can talk to you after about it, okay? Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go on our Sidurim right over to page 8. I'm sorry, to page 6 for our candle blessing, and I'm going to put down my guitar, and I'm going to walk over here to our Shabbat candle. How about if we read together on page 7? Shabbat is. Shabbat is flickering candles, sweet twisted challah, juice that makes my nose tickle, giggling with my friends, a smile from the rabbi and the cantor, sprinkled cookies at the oneg. Shabbat is sleeping in late, singing prayers to God, playing with tzitzit strings, dancing behind the Torah, bagels with cream cheese. Shabbat is lazy afternoons, ball games on the field, snuggling with the people I love, and remembering the miracle of creation. I invite you to rise if you are able as we kindle our Shabbat lights. Make 3 circles, one for ourselves, one for our family and friends, and one for all the people in the world. And we join in together in our blessing on page 6. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. As we open our eyes, Shabbat has begun, so let's wish each other Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everyone who is out there in Cyber Shul. And you may be seated. We're going to continue on page 8 with welcoming the Shabbat bride. Our tradition has us image the Shabbat as a beautiful bride who enters our presence all dressed in white. And we sing a welcome song to her called Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach. Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla. Let's turn together to our Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, which is on page 18. I'll start on page 19. How do you get ready to pray? Do you close your eyes, or do you look around the room at everyone who loves you? Do you breathe out and let your body relax, or do you breathe in the sweet smells of challah and wine? Do you look to the sky and search for God, or do you look at the earth and see the beauty of the world around you? How do you get ready to pray? The way we get ready to pray is we rise if we are able and join in the words of Baruch Hu. Lai la 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 la, lai la 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 la, lai la 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 la, lai la 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Amevorach, Amevorach leolam va'ed. Amevorach, Amevorach leolam va'ed. We remain standing as we turn to words of Shema Yisrael. Right there on page 28. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 You may be seated. We remember when we were slaves in Egypt. We remember when the Egyptians forced us to work from sunrise to sunset. We remember when our bellies growled because there was no food to eat. We remember when all we wanted was a cool drink of water. We remember when we had no warm blankets and shivered in the night. We remember crossing into safety and breathing the air of freedom. We remember dancing with joy and singing our song of thanks. And because we remember, we promise this day to feed the hungry, to bring water to the thirsty, to give clothes to the needy, and to reach out our hands and bring the whole world into our freedom dance. Let's join together for the words of Micha Mocha, our song of freedom, on page 32. Yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 mi chamocha bailim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot Osei fele, Malchut charau vanecha, Vokeyam livnei Moshe u'Miriam, Malchut charau vanecha, Vokeyam livnei Moshe u'Miriam. Everybody now, yada die die die, yada da da die die die, yada die 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 die, yada die die die. Yada die 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 yada die 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 die. We turn together to first on page 38, we have our introduction to the Amidah prayers, our standing prayers, and I'll ask you to stand in just a moment. But let's read together on page 39. You can, I'll read the first couple of paragraphs, and then you can all read the italicized sections. Adonai, our God, you are the protector of Abraham and the one who remembers Sarah. You watched over their children and their children's children. You were their strength, and with your help they were able to do great things. They called you the Holy God and knew that you were with them wherever they needed you, whenever they needed you. Together, help me, O God, to also know you. Help me to be strong and brave. Teach me to be holy. Let me rest each Shabbat and help me see the beautiful world around me. Help me find the words to thank you, Adonai, my God. Teach me your peace and help me to be a peacemaker for all the world. We'll go back to Adonai Svatai on page 38 and then to page 40. Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open my mouth so that I can pray to you with all my heart. Page 40, please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. So it's now time to take our Torah scroll out and to, anybody have a volunteer wants to carry the Torah scroll around? That has to be an adult, Lena and Lonnie, sorry. Got an adult, Josh, come on. Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikim ba betom kaha le'ushar. Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikim ba betom kaha le'ushar. Everybody, shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All who embrace it are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. You all may be seated. So since Hanukkah starts 1 week from Sunday, I thought I'd share a little Hanukkah story. It's called Adding to the Light. Thousands of years ago in Jerusalem, there was a court of rabbis called the Sanhedrin. People came to them with all sorts of troubles. His camel was carrying a load of flax, and some flax fell into my shop and caught fire on my lamp and set the whole shop on fire. And so it went. It was up to the rabbis to decide who would the camel owner have to pay the shopkeeper for the damage, and if so, how much, under what circumstances. Was the shopkeeper's lamp inside or outside the shop, they would ask. Was it a Chanukiah, a Hanukkah lamp? If it was a Hanukkah lamp, was it more than or less than the required 10 handbreadths off the ground, and so on. Now, 2 of the 70 rabbis serving on the Sanhedrin were also leaders of 2 schools, school of Hillel and the school of Shammai. Back and forth, they argued about the laws, citing customs, other rabbis, the 5 books of Moses, and all they had learned and studied in their days as students. So rarely did they agree that it was left to the rest of the Sanhedrin to decide whose ways the people should follow, that of Hillel or Shammai. Lighting the Hanukkah lights was no different. Shammai said, this is the way it should be done. Light 8 candles for the first night of the holiday, 7 for the second, 6 for the third, 5 for the fourth, 4 for the, and so on and so on. But Hillel disagreed. No, this is the way it should be done. Light 1 candle for the first night, 2 for the second, 3 for the third, 4 for the fourth, 5 for the fifth, 6 for the sixth, 7 for the seventh, and 8 for the 8th. All well and good, said the other rabbis, but what are your reasons? We have to have reasons so we can decide. And Hillel and Shammai gave them reasons, and they were good ones too. Shammai said, the light should correspond to the days of the holiday still to come. In this way, we will know how many days we have left to celebrate. And Hillel said, the light should equal the days of Hanukkah that are gone. In this way, we will know which day of the holiday we are celebrating. A difficult choice. Any other reasons, the rabbis asked. Of course, there were other reasons. Rabbis settled down in their seats. They were used to the arguments of Hillel and Shammai. These could go on for quite a while. Who knew how long? Shammai argued, the light should be decreased because this is the way young bullocks are brought to the temple during the Feast of Tabernacles. There are 13 on the first day, 12 on the second, 11 on the third, and so on, one less each day. Surely everyone knows this fact. Oh, and everyone knows that Hanukkah has so many similarities to the Feast of Tabernacles. This is because Judah Maccabee and his army had to delay their celebration of the Feast of Tabernacles, which is Sukkot, until they came down out of the hills and rededicated the temple. And so they celebrated the 8 days of the Feast of Tabernacles during the 8 days of the first Hanukkah. And so the method of counting the bulls that were brought to the Holy Temple can apply to the lighting of Hanukkah candles. So Hillel said, first the rabbi said, well, you know, what Shammai said is true. But Hillel had a quick response and a shorter one. The Hanukkah lights are holy. That is why we must not use them for any manner of work, but only to look at and to remind us of the Maccabees and the miracles of the Spirit. You all know this. Hillel paused. The rabbis nodded in agreement. And you also know that we promote all manners of holiness. We do not reduce them or take away from them, Hillel said. And of course, the rabbis knew this too. Then this will be the way, Hillel concluded. On the first night of Hanukkah, we will light 1 light. On the second night, 2. On the third, 3. And in this way, we will always be adding to the light and never diminishing it. And the rabbis agreed with Hillel. And so it was done. And that's the way it's done even today, just as Hillel said. So how many candles are we going to light on the first night? How many candles on the second? And you all know the song too, so. We won't sing it though, we'll sing. We'll sing a song about Shabbat. I got that Shabbat feeling up in my roach, up in my roach, up in my roach. I got that Shabbat feeling up in my roach, up in my roach to stay. I got that Shabbat feeling down in my recline, down in my recline, down in my recline. I got that Shabbat feeling down in my recline, down in my recline to stay. I got that Shabbat feeling deep in my lev, my heart, deep in my lev, deep in my lev. I got that Shabbat feeling deep in my lev, deep in my lev to stay. I got that Shabbat feeling, Bechol Gufi, I got it, Bechol Gufi. All over my body, got that Shabbat feeling, Bechol Gufi, Bechol Gufi to stay. I got that Shabbat feeling all over me, I got it all over me. All over me, I got that Shabbat feeling all over me, all over me to stay. Whoa, 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 yeah. Well, I see at least those of us here are all gathered together with our families, so we'll move to conclude our time together this evening with a family blessing. Hopefully those of you at home will be doing the same thing. Fix my little thingy here. Ivaresh Yerechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you with good and keep you safe. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God be with you and be kind to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom shalom. May you always know that God is close, and may God give you the gift of peace. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Just a couple of very brief announcements. One is that our Shabbat Chanukah service will be 2 weeks from tonight. Please join us for Latka dinner beforehand and bring your menorot, your Hanukkiyot to light on our bima. Also, next week is our Shabbat together, another Shabbat that's appropriate for families, and we'll be joining together next week at 7 p.m., special time, third Shabbat of the month. Whole lot of other things going on. Just check your TBI emails and website and all that other kind of stuff. And with that, we'll invite those of us who are here in person, and our next in-person Shabbat will be the second Shabbat in the month of January. That would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 is 6. That would be the 14th, I think. And so join us for Kiddush and Motzi, and those of you who are only with us virtually, we wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and hope you have a peaceful and restful Shabbat. Thanks so much for joining us.